sad to report today. I was just reading this article on Infowars.com, and then I found the original article on The Guardian, and it's about a new eating disorder called Orthorexia Nervosa. And apparently people who are obsessed with eating healthy have this disorder. And so I really think that I have Orthorexia Nervosa, and I know that it's causing me problems, and I have a mental illness, and I need to be on medication. I mean, it's really, I shouldn't assume that I know what's best for me. I mean, it's just absolutely paranoid to try to avoid GMOs and pesticides, and there's no reason for that. I mean, cancer, everybody gets cancer. Why is it such a big deal? Why am I obsessing over not getting cancer? I mean, I watched my mother die, and it wasn't horrible. It wasn't like she was being systematically poisoned with all these drugs at all. No, it wasn't. I'm not mentally ill. I am mentally ill. Oh, I'm so confused. Apparently, people with Orthorexia Nervosa can end up being malnourished because they avoid so many foods. Like, maybe they avoid corn or soy or dairy or wheat or meat or eggs, and then they don't get all their vitamins. And I know, like, on a serious note, I used to have anorexia nervosa. Okay, I was hamming it up a little bit. When I was a teenager and I hit puberty, I noticed that my family was obese, and I was starting to get stretch marks on my hips from puberty, and so I knew that something was wrong, and but I didn't know how to fix it, and so I didn't eat. Actually, I did. I had a Snackwell cereal bar in the morning, fat-free, and then I would drink Mountain Dew all day for the caffeine. I didn't even understand blood sugar or corn syrup, and this is back when fat-free was so great. And I did get really skinny, and then I would come home, and I was actually bulimic as well. I would binge and purge because I would be so hungry at the end of the day because, of course, my blood sugar had skyrocketed and then crashed, and I was a complete wreck. I was down to 112 pounds at 5'8.5" when I was 15 or 16 years old. Luckily, my drama teacher encouraged me to start singing, so I had to stop puking. And anorexia and bulimia are serious diseases, so I don't want to make fun of them at all. And orthorexia, you know, I guess there's a potential that somebody could become malnourished by avoiding too many foods, and I've actually struggled with that, to be completely honest. And where I go to a restaurant and I don't want to get a salad because it has trans fat in the dressing, so I get no dressing, but then I know that they've rinsed them off with bleach water, and then I don't want to eat the greens, and then maybe I don't want the meat because it has hormones and I don't want that. And I finally actually found a balance for myself, and that is that when I go eat out, I don't even try. I don't even try to eat healthy, because for them to make money and even support their families, I just don't know how possible it is for them to serve food that's free of GMOs and pesticides without charging so much that people can't afford it. When I'm at home, I do, though. I try to avoid GMOs, and I take soy in moderation. If it's organic or fermented, then I'll eat a small amount of it. Actually, a small amount of soy can counteract BPA in our blood, so I don't totally discount soy. And dairy, I try to just get like raw goat cheese or obtain raw milk however I can. And meat, I try to just get the hormone-free. Even Publix, like the main basic grocery store, has that now. But this whole categorization that orthorexia nervosa is a mental illness, and it's causing people to be malnourished. You know, there are people that weigh 300 pounds that are malnourished, and they don't have orthorexia nervosa. do they have a mental illness or do they have a disease called obesity? You know, and just something to think about. And to offer antidepressants as a solution is absolutely insane. Antidepressants are barely more effective than placebo. They've been associated with massacres and suicides, and they do nothing to balance out a person's gut bacteria. And I tell you, when I was anorexic and bulimic, I had no gut bacteria. I was taking antibiotics constantly. I was on allergy medicine, decongestants, which decongestant I might as well have been on like Ritalin, you know. And I was taking all kinds of antibiotics, and I had no immune system, and our gut makes our brain, and my gut couldn't make B vitamins, and my gut couldn't process toxins, and so my neurotransmitters were messed up, and I did have some obsessive, you know, tendencies, and that was really, really unhealthy. But now, me taking care about my health and trying to avoid toxins and maximize nutrients, I think is not orthorexia nervosa. Now, if someone is avoiding toxins and not considering nutrients, there's a potential for problem there. You have to weigh it out. You can't just avoid all toxins. Everything has something a little toxic in it. But remember, even arsenic has a role in our body. Like, I'm not saying take arsenic. Don't take arsenic. There's plenty of it, actually too much of it in our food already, but we still need a little bit of arsenic.
Okay, let me just clarify. There are some things that we do not need in our bodies. We do not need genetically modified organisms. We do not need fluoride. But trace minerals we do need. So we also do not need pesticides, and we do not need synthetic chemicals. Now, there may be a life or death situation where a synthetic drug could help you, but let's not lose sight of the fact that those are life or death situations, and falling into a lifestyle where drugs replace healthy behavior is something that even doctors used to warn against. Where are those doctors now? That's what I want to know. Caring about avoiding toxins and trying to eat more nutrient-dense foods and getting plenty of exercise is not a disease. It's not a disease. And if you are struggling trying to avoid toxins and you still have health problems, what you probably need is a clinical nutritionist or a naturopathic doctor, perhaps even a chiropractor. Medical doctors get no more than 6 weeks of nutritional training unless they are choosing some sort of specialty. I know this for a fact because my husband was in medical school. 6 weeks, crammed in at the end of the first year, and that's it. So just remember that, and these are the people that are creating and naming and documenting these mental illnesses in the Bible of books. So, Orthorexia nervosa, look, give it a name, don't give it a name. Yes, anyone can be malnourished, especially in today's world, because of the pesticides that are ruining the trace minerals that aren't getting into the plants. Go to the store, do yourself a favor, buy an organic fruit and an identical type of fruit that is non-organic and taste them. Just taste them, okay? Trace minerals make flavor, it makes nutrients. Look at the skin. It may not be as pretty on the organic fruit, but it might be darker, meaning it has more antioxidants. So, you know, call it a disease if you will, but I am not going to put my health in the hands of a psychiatrist with no nutritional training to give me a drug that causes potential suicide and doesn't address gut bacteria and doesn't address nutrition and doesn't address neurotransmitter imbalances other than to give me something that's going to keep serotonin in my blood. Let me give you a little hint. If you're on a serotonin reuptake inhibitor, and your doctor did not order a lab test testing your serotonin levels before prescribing that to you, then you don't need to go to that doctor. I'm sorry. Many things can look like a serotonin deficiency or overload, and serotonin overload can cause psychosis and hallucinations and all kinds of problems. So why would you be on a drug for serotonin if you haven't had your serotonin level tested? Why? Think about that. What is that drug doing to you? Is it solving the problem? If you're in a state that doesn't recognize naturopaths, then I'll give you another little hint. They're still around. They just have an Oriental medicine doctorate to go along with it, and that's not bad either. So I'm sorry if I offended anyone, but I'm an orthorexic I'm an orthorexia nervosa sufferer myself, so hopefully you'll give me some leeway. Have a great day.